We've been dancing for so long under the stars. I feel that's the
Hey guys, it's Aaliya. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back here with another video, and today I'm gonna be giving you my review. Like, you have seen the title and you've clicked on it. Thinking about it gives me excitement, because whenever I'm excited, my hands feel weird. Anyways, why am I telling that? I'm gonna be giving a review of Spider-Man No Way Home. You have known that I am a Marvel fan because I did it for Shang-Chi, and that was like off level. But then this thing, it's crazy. What I think is this is all based on fan theories, because everyone wanted these type of stuff to happen. Spoiler alert is gonna be there, so I'm just giving a little alert out there, because there are gonna be a little bit of spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't click the video. Like, stop. After you watch the movie, you can click on this video. But if you're okay with it, let's move on. So the movie released on 16th, and I had exams, so I couldn't go. But then afterwards, I did end up going around 21st, and by then I deleted Instagram because I was so excited to watch the movie. I wanted to go there spoiler free without anyone telling me anything. So yeah, I did went there spoiler free, and the theater went crazy for everything. So I will tell you my ratings for this, and then I'll tell you how the story goes, like the main things I'll say. It actually, I will give it a 10 out of 10. Gotta give it that, because this is so cool. Like the movie, the story, how it sets. The one thing I like about Marvel, that I'll tell it all the time, is that for watching one movie, it has a connection through every movie. Like if you see all those movies, you're gonna understand that. So like if you want to understand Peter Parker's life, you have got to see it from Captain America Civil War. Then you have to see it like what? Infinity War, Endgame? No. Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, and then No Way Home. So this one actually picks off right after Far From Home, because from the post-credit scene, you can say that Mysterio revealed Peter Parker's identity, that he is Spider-Man. So J. Jonah Jameson, a news reporter, clearly does not like Spider-Man. Like, he always thinks that he's a villain and he's not cool. Like, you know, says with all the excitement. That's right, folks. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Gosh, I told that exact line, didn't I? See, that's the thing. I'm so interested and invested in this. So he revealed it. They're on top of a lamp? Yeah. So what the Mysterio says is that Peter Parker is the one who killed me. What everyone thinks is that Mysterio, like, you know, obviously the people in Peter Parker's world think that Mysterio is a hero and he just died, which is very sad. But then, as he was a hero in front of everyone's eyes, that Peter Parker killed him, it just did not find the thing about people, and then they also thought that Peter Parker is a villain. So the Peter Parker drones, which was in control of Mysterio, who literally killed himself, actually just... what happened? Right, I did not see Far From Home for a long time. So when Mysterio killed himself, the drones that were his, like that was in control of his, killed himself. So he framed Peter Parker just so his life can be not cool. So he revealed Spider-Man's identity, and then his life, let's just say, wasn't great. Peter Parker's life wasn't great. The movie was emotional, very fun. The audience was screaming. I was gonna doubt that the audience were gonna react, like scream for each and everything, because it has been a while since the movie is out, but they did, and I really like it. So what happens is that right after his identity revealed, he like goes and he like applies to college. He does the stuff like normal stuff, but then he also goes for hideout because a lot of people are against him. Like they throw bricks at him and stuff like that, because you don't want a villain living around you, now do you? When you know that hero is a villain, that just is not a great thing. So he goes into hideout, he applies to college, and then he goes to the cafe, or like a bakery shop. I don't know what that is. Like, I cannot explain it, but these are the things that are in it. So he goes there and he finds that like it's a place where MJ works. So he finds that MJ and Ned and Peter Parker, three of them are just gonna open their MIT University like college application, but they couldn't get in because of the certain circumstances that happened with them. As soon as Peter Parker's identity is revealed, it also revealed the people who work with him and who help him. So that comes his girlfriend MJ, his best friend Ned, Aunt May, Happy, everyone. So as because Peter Parker is a villain in everyone's eyes, it also same goes to the people who supported and helped him. We obviously know that Peter Parker is not a villain, right? He's just been framed. Just after seeing that, he looks right up to the Halloween decorations where it is looking like strangely Doctor Strange. Strangely Doctor Strange. That's a great way of telling it. And he gets the idea of going to Doctor Strange and telling to make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So first he goes there and Strange says, I can't do that. I don't have a time stone, and if you mess with the time stone and the timeline, it's gonna mess with the multiverse, which that's what ends up happening. But the time stone is really not with him. It's given to Thanos. It's given for Iron Man, which he's dead. Very sad. I cried so many times after watching that movie. After so many times, but then he casts a spell. They go down into a dungeon, and then a basement. Let's just say like that. Oh, not a dungeon. A basement, and he casts a spell. When he's casting the spell, Peter Parker just adds stuff. He goes, I just stop saying Peter Parker. Peter adds stuff. Like, no, MJ has to remember that I'm Spider-Man. No, and Ned has to, know that I'm Spider-Man. But then Aunt May, then Happy, he goes and listens to stuff, and he's tampered with the spell, and the spell all breaks down. And so something does happen, like the whole thing shakes up. The villains who know Peter Parker is Spider-Man actually come into the universe of Peter Parker's, and they start attacking him. So after that, Peter goes and he tries to find. So first villain that comes is Dr. Otto Octavius. Pretty cool, right? And then after that, Green Goblin. So they both come in a bridge, but then Green Goblin actually just comes and he goes. Actually, he's saved by Doctor Strange. A portal just opens and he goes up. Portal just opens and he goes in. But he fights Octavius and he reveals his mask and he goes, "You're not Peter Parker." So that's what happens, because he is not the Peter Parker of his universe, right? So after that, all the people happen. Are there actually 6 villains? It happens Sinister 6. Dr. Octavius, Green Goblin, Lizard, Sandman, Electro. There are only 5. Wait, no. Dr. Octavius happens and Green Goblin does. And then afterwards, actually all the Dr. Octavius are in the dungeon of the Wizard of Strange, and they keep him there thinking of all the villains who came out knowing who Peter Parker is Spider-Man from all the other universes can go into those dungeons, and then by all in the once Doctor Strange can reverse the spell and make them all go back by pressing a button in a box. So when he does that, when he tries to go and find other people, oh, even Lizard is gonna be there. Yeah, Lizard is also in there. Until he goes back, he sees like a lizard and goes, "Is that a dinosaur?" No, that's a lizard if you're wondering. A lizard and Dr. Octavius are both in the dungeons. The others are still not found. So then after what happens is that he goes near Aunt May and they find Green Goblin. But obviously it's not Green Goblin. They find Norman Osborn. So they find him and they even put him in the dungeon, even though he looks very innocent, even though he is innocent. So they find 3. The more 2 is Sandman and Electro. So he gets a notification that, no, when he, I'm missing out stuff, aren't I? All the movies replaying in my head if you're wondering. When he goes near Osborn, there is May there, Aunt May. We all love Aunt May, don't we? I love her. So when we go near Aunt May, she tells that you can't just send them all like that. Everyone had the power that has been given. Like, like Electro, it's because he was like fell into a pool of eels. And then Lizard is because he transformed himself too. So there is supposed to be a vaccine. There is supposed to be something. You're gonna have to even set Osborn correctly and then send them back. Because when he gets everyone back, like Sandman, Electro, Osborn, everyone in the dungeons, they all tell that I was fighting Peter Parker and then I was about to die. But then they come back to this universe. So if they go back, if Strange presses that button, they're all gonna go back and die. And Peter Parker did not want that because he's a soft-hearted soul, and we all know that. So he tries to make a vaccine to everyone, and he takes the box away from Strange, like the fight, like that's a 4-minute fight, I'm pretty sure. And then he takes the box around, and they practically make Strange stuck in somewhere, some like Grand Canyon. Yes, he was in the Grand Canyon. So after this is where the great part comes off. So they go into this apartment that Happy gave for safety for Peter Parker, and they all try to make the vaccine. But then what happens is that Green Goblin comes off. like out of Osborn, he comes out. Like, you know, there are two Osborns, right? The one is the normal one, and the other one is like the one who's just evil one. Let's just say that. So he comes out, and Peter Parker's senses go crazy. He's like there's this whole voice that it all goes muffled, and he goes there and he just literally like whips Osborn's hand into the machine, and he goes, "You are a very smart kid," something like that. Like the sentence is something like that. So after where did I start? After that, everyone starts to kill Peter Parker except Octavius, because he actually got fixed by Peter and he got faith in him. Like, he is trying to fix us. But then everyone's vaccines are made and everyone just hits Peter, and then by then Aunt May dies. Very sad. You know, when it was coming to the ending of the movie, you don't know how many times I cried. Like, I cried so much because Aunt May dies, and the way before dying she said, "Great power comes with great responsibility." That made me cry more though. But like, you know, Aunt May dies because of Green Goblin, so obviously he's very much angered by him. But then he's cries, so he goes on the top of the school building, like his school building, yes. So then afterwards, the scene cuts off to Ned and MJ, where they're sitting and waiting for Peter, probably because they want to press the button. But then, if you don't know, Ned has the ring, like the ring of Doctor Strange. So he says, "I want to meet Peter Parker," and then a spark appears out of nowhere. And so he does it again, "I want to meet Peter Parker." So he gets shocked because obviously, if you've seen Doctor Strange, like, it took him like months to practice and be the master of mystic arts. But then coming to Ned, he just got the rings. And then there is Spider-Man standing there. You see, there is Peter Parker Spider-Man standing there. But when he comes out, it's Andrew Garfield. And let me tell you, the whole audience started screaming. So Andrew Garfield comes out and he goes, "Hi, so the multiverse is real. Oh my god." And it's just a whole another deal. And so after that, MJ throws a bread at him. He goes, "You have the super senses things." He crawls through the ceiling and stuff like that. Afterwards, he tries it again, and Tobey Maguire comes out. And then when they both try, like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, let me tell you, when they also both, not like fight, but like throw webs at each other and stuff like that, just to prove them. And then Tobey actually knows this type of stuff, that Peter Parker is in trouble, the one that we're talking about. Which number was this Peter Parker? The one that we are talking about. You know whose identity is revealed? Peter Parker. That's very confusing. Now we've got to confusing a bit. So, I don't know. One is Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3. Yes, someone is Peter 1, someone is Peter 2, someone is Peter 3. And so after that, what happens is that they say that when we are sad, we go on top of some buildings. So Andrew Garfield is top of the Empire State Building, and then Tobey Maguire in someone's building. I don't remember the building names, but they go up on something, and they say, "As we are in common, as like the lives of ours is mostly common, do you know somewhere that your friend goes to contain your emotions?" And they know it, the top of the school building. So they run to the school building, and they come there. Both of the Spider-Mans also come, and they agree to help him. They go and make a vaccine again for Green Goblin, because when you try to like inject him, it actually like breaks. Actually, I also got more crying because when they come to the school building, like the top of the school building, he goes, "She's dead," and he starts crying more, and I'm like crying more. They're crying, I'm crying. It was just there, you know. So then afterwards, they try to make a vaccine. That's actually more a funny place. Like that's like the place where they're in the laboratory. I'm pretty sure that was the school one. That was also very funny though. Like the scenes, I don't remember that much, but I remember laughing though for that. And then after that, they go and fight everyone. They heal everyone, and then everyone forgets Peter Parker Spider-Man. I am talking about everyone. Now we can't really count Aunt May and she died, but Happy, MJ, Ned, like the people who we know closely too, they all forget. So after the whole fight, after everyone goes back to the universes, he goes to the cafe where MJ works, and he goes there and try to tell him. He like prepares a speech in cards, like, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker, you know me," stuff like that. We didn't get to hear a lot of it. We just got to hear 2 lines. But he goes to them, but he sees how happy they are without him, and he wanted no trouble for him after seeing MJ's cut, and he didn't like the fact that he wanted them to know that I'm that Peter Parker, and that you know me, because that will just get him into more trouble, and he didn't want them in trouble, and he saw that how happy they are without him. So he just takes coffee, leaves the cafe, and that also is a little emotion. So now Peter Parker has no one. He is broke. He gets into an apartment, makes his new suit, and I think we are gonna get Spider-Man 4, aren't we? Because that's what everyone are saying. Like, Marvel has confirmed they're gonna make more Spider-Man movies, so we will see more when Peter Parker is all alone, and we will see how he'll lead his life all alone. But then there are two post-credit scenes. So one is where Tom Hardy, Venom comes and he's talking with some guy, talking about, so this universe is all about super people. There's a Tin Man who can fly, Iron Man, rest in peace. That's what the guy says. And then a strong green guy, and that's Hulk. And then a purple alien that loves stones. Let me tell you, man, alien do not like stones. Like, he is probably telling about Venom, but like, that's what it is. And then after that, he glows and he goes off, but Venom's blood is still left on the table, which we know if it goes on someone, they turn into Venom and they're gonna kill Peter Parker. I'm thinking so. I think Venom is gonna be the next villain. Who knows? But then the next post-credit scene is, which is actually out right now, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer. That is so cool. Like, it actually kept as a post-credit scene, but that's the story. That took me a while. My breath is out. What I will rate it is 10 out of 10. What I think this movie is awesome and great. I love the movie. It's so cool. And I think that you guys should go and watch it. Don't miss out. And probably my Instagram right now is filled with so many spoilers. So I probably tell you, if you haven't watched it right now and if you're such a big fan, don't open your Instagram and don't go into like Tom Holland's or like Zendaya or Jacob Batalons or any stars of the Spider-Man's tag list, because if you do go there, they're all spoilers in that. So that's what I will tell you, but that's all for today's video, guys. See you guys next time. Don't forget to watch the movie. Thank you so much for watching. Keep supporting. Love you guys so much. Bye!